Ohayou minasan. That means good morning, everyone. That will be your Japanese lesson for this week. But yeah, today we will be doing a bit of a video game hunt. So Japan is, as you know, the video game capital of the world, and there's a bunch of cool stores and retro game stores and whatnot that I want to explore. So I'll bring you guys with me. So yeah, right now I'm just walking down the street. I'm walking over to the train station, and yeah, I just thought might as well just show you around while I'm walking around. So this is a street close to where I live. It's not exactly where I live, but it's sort of close. Yeah, I'm just walking to the station, like I said. I just wanted to highlight, like, when you're in Japan, at least for me, it feels very surreal. Like there's a lot of places you just, it feels like exactly what you'd imagine, which in reality just seems so strange. So yeah, I felt like might as well show you around a bit while I walk. So yeah. So I am now in the escalator going to the Nintendo store in central downtown Kyoto. So yeah, let me show you around. So the Nintendo store was great, but I didn't buy anything. But it was very cool, as you probably saw in the video. It was filled with people. It is a Saturday today, so I mean, probably gets completely filled up with not just tourists but Japanese people as well. Especially since it's now like a long weekend. So on Monday it's a national holiday, so everyone's off for 3 days now, going around. Probably a lot of people traveling around the country as well. So yeah, it's very cool, but it was way too crowded today. So I didn't buy anything. I barely looked except for the footage you saw. But now I'm walking over to a place called Surugaya, which is a retro game store with like used stuff. So yeah, let's check it out. are going to Hardoff. So the closest Hardoff to where I live is a bit outside of like central Kyoto. It's a bit west of the central Kyoto. So I had to grab an Uber to get here. So we are back home, and I felt like the game hunt has been pretty good so far. The stores in Kyoto there aren't a lot of stores, but the stores that are here are very nice. Like the retro stores have some great deals. The Nintendo store was super cool. It's like I mentioned in the earlier clip, I didn't actually buy anything at the Nintendo store, but it was very cool. So I thought I'd just do a roundup, show everything I've gotten so far. And also, like I mentioned earlier before, I've had a goal to collect all of the original versions of all of the Final Fantasy titles. So that's been kind of the focus, but I've also been picking up some stuff that I just found that looked cool. So I thought we could begin with some 3DS stuff. So I picked up Theatrhythm, Final Fantasy, Monster Hunter 4, Monster Hunter Cross, as well as Smash Bros for 3DS. All of these 4 games were 500 yen each. 500 yen each for these games is crazy. Like this one I got at Hardoff, you probably saw the clip earlier there. But yeah, 500 yen each. That's like, in Swedish krona, that's like 30 krona, something like that, which is wild. It's so incredibly cheap here. Then I also got this, which was, actually I remember how much it was in krona, but I can't remember in yen. It was 150 krona, which is I think somewhere around 3,000 yen, which is also like this game in the West is like 1,000 Swedish krona, or around $100 as far as I know, like when it's complete in box. So that was wild. So then before we get on to the Final Fantasy stuff, which is the like main part of it, I also found this, a PS Vita. It's the PS Vita the second model, the LCD model. A complete in box with everything, like all the paper, like everything, the papers, charger, everything, and it works great. I love it. I've always wanted to get one, but they're very they're kind of prohibitively expensive in Sweden, so I never actually managed to grab one. But I'm very excited to finally have one. I'm going to be playing through Persona 4 on this for sure. Yeah, let's move on to the main stuff that I've been collecting. So like I mentioned, a goal I've had when I moved here was that I wanted to collect the entire original Japanese Final Fantasy collection as well as the Zelda collection. And so far I've been focusing on Final Fantasy. So I started off by getting at, I think it was at Surugaya. I got these 2 games, Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 5 for the Super Famicom. And if I remember correctly, these were also 3,000 yen each. Which to me, just like for the complete in-box Super Famicom games, they're in super nice condition. Like they're in really good condition. Like no real problems with them or anything. They look fantastic. 3,000 yen each. That's just it's wild that it's that cheap to me. So I started with those, and then I found at a place that actually No, actually, these I got from Surigaya as well, I believe. The PS2 titles. So I got Final Fantasy X, and then I also got the Final Fantasy X International version, which is, as far as I understand, it's just it's the like PAL, like a European version of Final Fantasy X, but with the option to have Japanese text. And I thought that, I reckon, like, I want to play through these games, and so I reckon if I get a PS2, it's nice to have the international version, since it has the option for English text as well, and it's like the final patched version of the game, which is supposed to be a bit better. The same with Final Fantasy X-2. I got the standard Final Fantasy X-2 and Final Fantasy X-2 International plus Last Mission. And these 4 games were, I believe, the original versions. So, these 2 versions, the original Japanese versions, they were 500 yen. And then the international versions were 1,000 yen each, which is still like nothing. They're all complete. They're in super nice shape. They're not like complete. They're not perfect, but they're in great condition, like more than enough. And then I also got Final Fantasy XII, the original version. I think there is an international version of this as well, but I haven't seen it yet. So for the PS2, I'm almost done. If there's an international version of Final Fantasy XII, I have to get that. And then also Final Fantasy XI, I want to grab for the PS2 as well. So yeah, so then we move over to the PS3. So for the PS3, I got Final Fantasy 13. This was 300 yen, as well as 13 too, as you saw in what's it called, in Hard Off. It was also 300 yen, which is wild. Like 300 yen, that's nothing. It's like $1.50, something like that, $1.50. 15 krona. I can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. So the PS3 collection is almost finished as well. I just need what's it called, Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns to finish the PS3 section. So then I also got Final Fantasy 15. This was 1,500 yen, which is also super cheap. Is the Japanese version with the one which also has the nice like insert with the signatures from all of the developers. So yeah, 1,500 yen for that is just wild. And yeah, and then to finish it off, I decided, why not? Let's grab it. I got Final Fantasy 16 for, I believe this was 2,500 yen, which is also incredibly cheap. It was used, but I don't really care if it's used or not. Like, it's a completely new game, and it's just 2,500 yen for this. It's wild. When in Sweden it's still $70, like even used, I think. So it's been great. So far, my Final Fantasy collecting like journey has been great, and I've really had a lot of luck. I feel like I can almost finish that collection quite quickly. I know that there's a few games that are going to be quite difficult, like the original NES games. I think are going to be quite expensive, but overall, I'm really happy with everything. So yeah, like I said, game hunting has been great. I want to go game hunting in Osaka as well, because so far I've only been in Kyoto, but it's been super fun. So yeah, next week, actually, you know what? Let's keep next week's video surprise. I have some ideas for what I want to do, and I will, I'm excited to show it off. Little update on like life in Japan overall. I've been to school now for 1 week. School's been great. It's difficult. Everything moves quite quickly, but it's been great. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm probably not going to be making a lot of videos about game hunting. I'm probably just going to be doing it in my like spare time. But if you guys think, if you're interested, I could make another video at some point. Just leave a comment, and I will take the feedback. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday.